This video contains content that you've asked to not see.
Specifically two overweight, annoying, kind of stupid content creators talking about video games.
Hey everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Krug.
And today we're going to be talking about Valve, but this time about how you seek their content and how you can avoid some content.
Yeah, and some other interesting changes as well. Back in June, Valve started this really interesting conversation, mostly with themselves, but kind of with the community at large as well. Basically centered around what Steam is. Is Steam a place where Valve approves games and shows you the best that developers have to offer, or is it a place where people can put their titles up to be judged by the rest of the community? How much say is Valve going to have in that sort of thing? And they basically decided that it's more of an open platform than it is their curated platform. That having been said, there's a lot of opportunity for people to kind of be taken aback or offended or just kind of distressed by what they see on Steam if they're gonna allow ultra hyper realistic violence and nudity and stuff like that. That causes some kind of parental control issue and just kind of a sensitivity control issue. The first thing on their post, however, doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just an interesting little quality of life change. They're introducing something called developer homepages.
Could have done that a little bit sooner.
Yeah, could have done that way sooner. This seems like a pretty basic feature. That having been said, I do kind of like the implementation. It's fairly attractive. It sorts games into categories by series. I can see it adding some sort of value, but you're super right. It is way late.
It does kind of go into its curation though, because
you're right.
you can then avoid specific developers,
Yeah.
or if you continue to go to a developer, it theoretically could highlight their content more often.
Yeah, if they come out with a new game and you visit their page every day, it could put it on your homepage. We don't know if that's technology they're implementing, but the fact that they're putting all this effort into deeper and more user-facing categorization, it just kind of opens the door to that. That's where the world is going, right? Machine recommendations.
It feels like they have systems. They may not announce that they have systems like that, but a lot of the games that are on the top of the list are games that I know that I'm interested in or have visited frequently.
Sure.
The lower I go, the less interesting they are to me. And I don't know if it's just because I'm just plain Jane in the middle and this is what's popular and so you're clearly going to like this.
Speaking of something we mentioned in passing for a bit in the last little part we were talking about, you can ignore more stuff now. There's a lot of different tags on Steam, right? There's you can ignore VR stuff, you can ignore things that are FPS games or violence or whatever. Those are things that you can ignore in Steam, so that if a game has that tag, it just won't show up for you unless you search for it specifically. And I think that's a really important feature. And so if you type in Blood, Death, Gore 9000, the new violent game from Violent Studios, it shows up even if you've ignored Blood, Death, and Gore.
It just says, hey, you...
Yeah, and then it grays it out and puts a thing over it saying hey, you didn't want to see this. If you want to see this, it's your choice. We'll show it to you, but
we're giving you the heads up.
We're giving you the heads up. The thing I like about it the most, it super doesn't affect you if you don't use it. 10 out of 10 A+. Just be unobtrusive unless you want it to be obtrusive.
Well, and I think it's got an unattended factor to it as well, is that it's going to create developers, because developers are the ones that put those tags in, right?
Yeah.
It's going to prevent developers from over-tagging their content. All 50 of the other tags that they have doesn't matter because they're not...
The more tags on a game, the more likely somebody won't see it.
Exactly.
Technically. Although also the more likely somebody will see it. So it's kind of a balance thing, right? You'd want to test that over time if you're a developer trying to game the tag system, which is something I'm assuming they do anyways.
The last kind of filter that they've added is just a general mature audience. So literally anything that is theoretically above a certain rating. So if you're over the UK, the PEGI rating or the... I can't remember what our rating system is called.
But it is just the developer's choice.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that's what Valve has left the decision up to, is the developers themselves. They've also implemented a system that forces the developer to describe why they're doing that. And it's not like trash talk your own game. It's just
realistic.
Exactly, yeah. Be realistic about why you think this is mature content. And they have an example for Left 4 Dead where it's hey, there are zombies and they get decapitated and there's gore and violence and swearing sometimes. That's just honest. And I don't think if somebody sees that message come up and they know what they're going for, or they understand in even the most basic of terms what the game is, it's not going to turn them off to it or anything.
No,
it's
but-
just like if a parent clicks on a game that they want to buy for their child and it's mature content, the developer has the opportunity to sell the mature content to the parent. They can say like, this is violent, probably not suitable for your kid, don't buy it. Or this actually isn't that violent. We just put this here so that like we can say these are the small minor things that is included in the game.
Theoretically, even if like the parent put the maturity limit on the account, right? Theoretically, it's not stopping someone from buying those mature games. Though.
No,
it's just that
not
they're
like
having to specifically search out for them, and then click the "Are you 18" button.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
and there should be some sort of parent like password or something, or like maybe it sends a notification to their phone. Your kid's trying to buy this. Do you want to let them buy it? And you just click yes.
I got to be honest. I'm pretty sure the kid market is not that big on Steam.
I think it's hidden from you.
Maybe.
Like I think it's like behind this barrier of you're being. All that stuff is excluded from what you see because there's no way that you'd buy it, you know?
I mean, at least for me, I probably will use it because there are a bunch of games that pop up on my Steam that I have zero interest in.
Sure.
I'm going through Steam and it's like, look at Webcam Girl. I'm like,
I'll block that.
I don't need that in my
block
life.
that.
There are people that are,
Yeah.
and I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying I'm not interested in that, and so I'm not going to play those games, and I don't want them to come up on my feed because I don't have an interest in them.
No, that's totally fair. I was thinking to myself, like, there's no way that I'll use this, but I'm glad it's here. I probably will use it. You're probably right.
I'm going to basically set my system up to like act like Steam was before it started acting this way. All right, everyone, head down to the comments and let us know what are your thoughts just generally about the changes that Steam has done.
Yeah, and if you're a parent, you have kids, those are the same thing. Let us know how you feel Steam's doing with parental controls. Is it something that bothers you a whole bunch, or is it not an issue that we should be concerned about at all?
While you're down there in the comments, let us know what you think of the video by giving us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And hit the subscribe button. We've
that.
seen an expansive amount of new people joining us.
Yeah.
Now just hit the subscribe button. And while you're down there and you hit the subscribe button, you can hit the bell icon and get notifications for all of our future content. You can head over to Twitter and talk to us there. You can get me there at IndigoQT.
You can reach me at CrewQT on Twitter. You can also reach both of us at the same time at _QueueTimes on Twitter or at QueueTimes on Instagram.
We've been GameGorgon. We've been GameGorgon. We've been GameGorgon. See you later.